What is going on, fellas? Debit Credit Nation once again welcomes you to another FICA video. So in this video we are going to talk about a very critical and important workflow that is being called in the dunning. So we are going to talk about disconnection via dunning. In an ISU project, when a customer doesn't pay, we need to disconnect or block the customer's meter so that we can move the customer out. And this can be done via the workflow which is called in dunning. Nobody is going to identify which customer has not paid, and they are not going to manually disconnect the meter. So via dunning, those delinquent customers needs to be identified. So for that, let's go to FPL9, and this is our contract account which we are going to disconnect via dunning. So when I get inside, I see these 3 invoices are overdue. So 3 invoices are overdue, and all three of them are sitting on a particular dunning level. So in my previous video, I have already shown you how to do or how to execute dunning in a dunning by collection strategy scenario. So if you have not gone through that video, I would encourage you to go through that video. I'm going to stick the video's thumbnail at the top right of my screen here. So this customer has reached this level, and the very next level is a disconnection. So let's go to the dunning history for this customer. So the T code is /O FPM3. I enter the contract account here and execute and put the date of issues as ascending order. So we see the last dunning is this one, CA02. Next dunning I'm going to do, which is the disconnection level. Now before doing the disconnection level, let me show you the contract is an active one. So double click on the contract and go to the page 3. You will see the move out date is blank. That means this contract is still active. If I go back to the dunning history, so last time this customer was done on 6/22. So as per the BRF plus, we have to wait for 4 business days to run the next dunning, which will create the service order. So let's run another round of dunning now. So I'm just going to copy the previous dunning and create a new one. FPVA is a T code. Enter the date ID and identification. So just simply copying, and let's call the identification as disc1. Now I need to increase the date of issue by 4 business days. So 6/22. So I'm just making it 6/29. For safe side, I'm putting 5 business days. Now here I'm going to save it, and with that, schedule program run. Okay, now it is running. I click on the refresh button and I see it's completed. Now let's go to the environment and dunning history and execute. So it has reached the disconnection level, which is DA01. So double click on the disconnection level, and here we can see the disconnection document is generated. So Control Y, let's go to the disconnection document. We can see it via EC86. Sorry, EC86 is the change one. So I'll just change it to the display mode. This is EC87. So enter the disconnection document and enter. You see disconnection has started 20, and under that we have this service order. When I double click and I click on this spec, it will take me to the IW33 screen where I can see the service order. So this is a service order number, and this is my business partner. So this is a service order, and this service order has a service notification. So we can see the service notification here. Okay, so this is the service notification. It says NOPR means notification on progress. And so basically this part is taken care of by the FSM or EAM team, mostly by the EAM team. So as a FICA consultant, we are not required to do anything here. So this service order configuration, they will do it. So in the dunning activity, we just need to assign the correct ZFM which will create the service order. So the service order is created. Now if I go back to my contract account FPL9, I will see that it has changed from CA02. This will be changed from CA02 into DA01. So I hit the refresh button, it goes to DA01. Now till here we have seen in the last video. Now suppose my business requirement is that if the customer makes a full payment, then this service order needs to be cancelled. Currently this service order is in release status. Release means this service order is available in the FSM, and in the FSM this service order will be, so currently it is not scheduled. Okay, so if you click on this I button, it will tell you that it is not yet scheduled, so it will be accepted. After that it will be assigned to a technician. So once it is accepted by the technician, then the technician will travel to the customer's premise. Once they start their travel, it will go to the status travel. Then the technician will reach the customer's premise, then the status will be on site, and finally they will complete that means they will disconnect the meter. So in that case the status will become complete. It may happen they could not, maybe due to some reason they were not able to complete, then they change it to DEXE, or might be due to some issue the technician put this request on hold, then it will be on hold. So currently it is not yet scheduled and that is not yet assigned. Now my requirement is, before the technician starts his journey to the customer's premise and before they actually disconnect, suppose the customer makes a payment. If the payment is a partial payment, then the disconnection order will be active, service order will be active. But if the payment is full payment or excess payment, then we need to deactivate or we need to cancel out the service order automatically. So this is a custom requirement and we have achieved it by enhancing our event 20. So event 20 is a very famous one. It's used for any FICA posting with clearing. So when I post a payment document, my payment document is supposed to clear these 3 invoices. So we have written a logic that if the payment amount is greater than or equal to these 3 documents, for example, if I put a filter, so the qualified amount here is 1175.76. If a customer makes a payment which is greater than or equal to 1175.76, then the service order needs to be cancelled. Once a service order is cancelled, the technician will not go to the customer's premise and the technician will not disconnect the meter. So let's test this. So first I'm going to make a partial payment. That means out of 1175.76 I'm going to pay 1000. That means as if the customer pays 1000. Let's see what happens to the service order. But before I execute, I have to make sure that my service order is in display mode, because whenever this cancellation is happening via the workflow, we need to make sure that we are in the display mode. If it is in the editable mode, my workflow will not work, the service order will not be cancelled. So currently my service order is in a release state. So I'll just copy the contract account and I'm going to post a manual payment via FPO5. So pay disc 1 is the payment lot name. Click on create. Just put the document type. So the dunning happened on 6/29. Now say on 6/30 the customer makes a partial payment. So customer makes a payment of 1000, which is not a qualified payment because 1000 is less than the amount for which the dunning reminder was sent to the customer. So this is my customer. So I make a partial payment. Click on save. Okay, posting is completed. Now let's go to first the FPL9. So I hit the refresh button. Now if I set a filter at the collection step, and I see that this 175.76 is still open. Now here my disconnection document should not be cancelled, so I come out of the disconnection document. So I go back to EC87 screen, I get inside, I see it still remains 20, and when I enter the service order, this one is still released, that is, it is not yet cancelled. Why? Because the logic is when the customer makes an excess payment or equal payment, only then the service order will be cancelled. Now the customer, suppose on the very next date, that is on 1st of July, the customer makes the balance payment. See then if my service order gets cancelled or not. So I'm going to post another payment. So this time I'll call it pay disc 2 with the same payment document type, and this time the customer pays on the very next date, that is 0701. Now here the customer is going to pay the balance amount only, which is this one, or maybe let the customer pay excess. So 175.76 the customer is supposed to pay. Suppose the customer pays 180, that means paying around 4 point something dollar in excess. So with that I'm going to save it, and my expectation is that this time the service order is going to be cancelled. So save it, close, and post. Okay, so posting is made. First I'll go to the FPL9, I'll hit refresh. So I will see, if I put a filter at the DA01 level, I'll see all of them are green, that means all of them are paid. Okay, so now my service order should be cancelled. So the logic is, if the service order is already executed, that means if the field technician goes to the customer's premise and he actually deactivates the meter or disconnects or blocks the device, then it will not work. But before blocking the device, if the customer's payment is posted, then the service order needs to be cancelled, so that no technician will work on that service order. So let's go back to the service order. This is my service order screen, IW33. I'm coming back. Now I'm back to EC87 screen. Now I'm getting inside. So when I click on enter, I see the disconnection document status, which was earlier 20, has now become 99. So earlier it was disconnection started, now it is completed. Okay, and I see another disconnection order is generated. So this is the first disconnection order which was earlier generated, and my cancel has created another disconnection order which says completion of disconnection document. Now if I get inside of the service order, I will see it says cancelled. That means this service order, which was earlier open, now it has been cancelled, and it says technically completed. TECO means technically completed. So that means in the FSM side as well, it will be reflected as cancelled. So in S4, whatever we see in the S4, the same is reflected on a real-time basis in FSM. So in FSM as well, it will say cancelled. So it will not be assigned to any field technician agent. So nobody will go to the customer's premise and try attempting block the meter. So the status here, it says cancelled. Okay, and also there is one more way. So go to operation level, and here you select the line item and you click on this I button. So from here as well, you can see it is again cancelled. So there are two ways to check, that is one from the header level. So this is the header data. So here you see the cancel, it is at the header level, and similarly at operations level you have to also make sure that it has been cancelled. Okay, so at operation level as well, so this is the I button at operation level, it also says cancelled. And we have enhanced that whenever a service order is cancelled, we need to populate the cancellation reason. We populate it at the service notification level. So go back to the service notification. This is my service notification. Just click on this spec. You see a new tab is generated which is called cancellation reason, and the cancellation reason is 0003, that is payment. So we have achieved it by enhancing the FQ event 20. Now I cannot show you the code snippet because that's a custom code. So we have written the logic that once the payment document is posted, the FKKCL table is called. We need to see if the FKKCL table amount is greater than DFKKOP, but true amount, which are in DA01 level. So if the collection steps amount is less than the payment amount, or if the payment amount is at least equal to the collection step open item, then we cancel it. We call the workflow. There is a background. A workflow is called. That workflow cancels the service order. We have seen the first workflow, that is whenever we reach the DA01 level, one workflow was there which generated or which created the service order, and this is a similar workflow. This one cancels the service order. Now if the customer doesn't pay before the meter is blocked, then the service order would have been completed and the installation would have been disconnected. So how to see if the installation is disconnected or not? So get inside of the contract. You will see it in the installation page. Go to page 3. This is the installation. Double click here, and here it says it is not disconnected because the customer has paid his due. Once the field agent would have blocked the meter, then this installation would have been disconnected, which I have shown you in my previous video where I have shown turning to move out. So if you have reached here and you have seen the video throughout, then consider giving it a thumbs up. So please like and comment and subscribe to the channel Debit Credit Nation. This will encourage me more so that I will bring to you new FICA videos with lot of custom requirements. If you want any specific video, just mention in the comment below. We will definitely try to create a video and cover your topics. Thank you very much. See you next time.